As some of you may know who follow the channel, this year I became a Bosphorus Cymbals artist, an endorsee, and they have sent me a new set of cymbals, which I'm going to be opening today. Your cymbals are part of your character. They're part of what makes you sound like you do on a drum kit, just as much as the drums are and your drum heads and things like that. And I decided to go with the Syncopation SW series. And I've gone with a 14-inch pair of hi-hats, a 20-inch ride and a 22-inch ride. I didn't bother with a crash. I'm not much of a crash fan, to be honest with you. So the idea of getting a pair of hi-hats and 2 ride cymbals sounded good to me. So they're the 3 that I'm going to be opening today. They're sitting here in front of me, still packaged up, so I haven't even seen them yet. So I'm going to start with the hi-hats and we'll see how they look and how they sound. The Syncopation series is built around stick definition. They're very articulated. I was really keen to get the articulation without having the build of the wash that some of these cymbals can have. I decided to go with the 14-inch hi-hat. I was originally looking at the 13-inch. I already have a pair of 13-inch in the traditional series, and I have a pair of 14-inch at the Master Vintage series. So this is the 14-inch bottom. It weighs 1,166 grams, and one of the things I absolutely love about this is the cymbalsmith's signature on the inside of the bell here, with the individual weight and the signature of the person that made it. I just love them. I think every single Bosphorus cymbal, to be fair, like any handmade cymbal, I think it's a work of art. But these are absolutely stunning. So here we've got the top, 916 grams, so that's interesting. The top hat, if you like, is a lighter weight, sort of 200 odd gram difference, again with the intention of keeping that articulation and the lightness of touch that you want from the top hat, which is of course the one you play regularly. So next up we have the 22-inch Syncopation SW ride. 22-inch rides are my thing. I absolutely can't get enough of them. If I could just have 4 22-inch rides on my drum kit, I probably would. I probably could, actually. Whatever I asked for, it was going to include a 22-inch ride, and I can't wait. I've got the 20-inch down there, but that can wait. I want this 22. For me, the 22 is the perfect balance for what I do. The 20s I find are a little bit small, a little bit specialist. Oh, look at you. Absolutely stunning piece of kit. This lovely sort of bronze coppery colour. You can see what they mean about the sand wash finish. And again, like the hi-hat, the hammer divots are very obvious. It's got a lovely sheen to it. This must be 2,420 grams, 2.4 kilos. It's interesting, the Master Vintage will physically bend, very, very thin, the Master Vintage, whereas this, there is some movement there, but it's nowhere near as thin or as bendy, I suppose, as the Master Vintage. So I'll be very interested to hear how this one sounds. One thing I've always loved about the Bosphorus is the bell. The bell on the Master Vintage is the finest bell sound I have ever heard. I'm not expecting this to beat that, although I may be pleasantly surprised, but I always love the bells on the Bosphorus series. absolutely explosive. That's going to cut through. There is the definition there. There's a little bit more wash than I was expecting, but in a way that I think doesn't get in the way. It'll take a bit of getting used to, absolutely, but that's stunning. Oh, I love that though, that bell. Right, let's have a look at the 20-inch version next to it. So one of the things I was concerned about was finding something that would complement the 22-inch while providing enough of a contrast. The 20-inch version of the same cymbal, the beautiful 20-inch Syncopation SW, would provide enough of a contrast that it would be worth having. So let's see. So this one is 1874, just over 1800 grams. The difference between them there, this 20-inch is definitely a lot trashier. Trashy is definitely the word for this one here. But actually it's deeper than I was expecting. It certainly contrasts that without being radically different, but I'm surprised actually how trashy the 20 is compared to the 22. I couldn't use this as my primary ride. It would be just too trashy as a primary ride. I mean, to be honest with you, looking at it now and hearing it in the flesh properly, it's definitely got the vibe of a crash ride. It's certainly, you could use this as a crash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the kit set up, I'll put them in place on the kit, and I'll get some microphones on it. I'll record through my Yoda heads so you can hear a bit of a higher quality level of audio rather than just coming through the camera's microphone. So there you have it, they're on the kit and they will be getting their debut outing this weekend. I'm doing 2 full days in the studio over the weekend with a couple of different projects. One of them is jazz standards, kind of Keith Jarrett standard trio type thing. The second day is a sort of electro-funk electro-funk type project. I'm definitely going to try them out on the jazz project. Whether or not they will see the light of day on the funk project, we will see. As you probably heard in the audio demonstration there, they are explosive. At times, especially the 20-inch, is quite trashy. They're not perfect for every environment, every musical environment, but that's why you have a selection of cymbals. Whether or not the 22 is controlled enough to use in the funk setting, we will see. I'll try that on the day. I very much doubt the 20-inch will be. That 20-inch is an absolute firecracker. I enjoyed letting loose on them. It felt like they were cymbals I wanted to play, I wanted to move to and have fun with. They are not the most controlled. I don't think they're as controlled as the Master Vintage. The 20-inch is definitely not as controlled as my 20-inch Turk cymbal. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. It's been a very nice day. There's nothing quite like getting a big pack of cymbals through the post. So thank you once again to Bosphorus Cymbals and Mark at Trojan Music Distribution and Drum Shack down in London for providing me with them. But anyway, thank you for watching, and go and check out the rest of the Bosphorus line because they are as good as you have heard. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.